Okay guys, I swear I have other stuff that I do on this channel other than Pokemon battles, but this battle was absolutely astounding. It's up against someone known as Ribold, and honestly, this game was ridiculous. So here I open up with Mew, and it's Mew. I don't need to worry about this thing. I can take almost any shot, so I just fire off a knockoff to weaken this Greninja, which basically means it'll hurt, but it won't have enough power to ever kill me, unless I'm really, really bad. He switches out realizing this, and he goes into Mawile. And, Will-O-Wisp, why do you do this to me? If only you had hit. Anyway, he goes back out into Talonflame. I just basically go for a second one, and I was pretty sure he was going to switch out, not wanting to risk it, but just in case he got greedy, I wanted to punish him for it. So he goes for a U-turn again with Talonflame to U-turn out into Gliscor this time. And here I really wish I had just knocked off, because this would have won me the game. Will-O-Wisp hitting or me knocking off here probably would have won me the game. But yeah, it's been nuts. But anyway, I just decided to taunt here. I know Gliscor isn't an offensive monstrosity normally, so it won't do much to me. Plus, I'm physically defensive. And here I knock off Talonflame and just remove the Choice Band, which was really starting to get annoying really quickly. So he just says, screw it, I'm going to Brave Bird everything. And honestly, I don't know what to really do. Nothing I could think of really wants to eat a Brave Bird except for Gliscor. And I want to make sure that he doesn't double switch out on me, because he could just go to either Greninja or into Keldeo. So I just decided to roost up. Greninja comes back in. I have absolutely no problem with this, because I'm at a comfortable enough HP where after leftovers, I'm guaranteed to live the second one. And, wow. This battle was a blast. Good battles like this, especially right now, with the meta shifting and no one knowing what to do, are really hard to come by. And this was an amazing game. So here I'm getting sick and tired of eating Dark Pulses, so I decided to go out to Clefable to wall it. And here, I know for a fact he's going to bring in that stupid little Mega Mawile. So I say, no, 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 and double back out into Mew. And say, no, you're not doing that. Not for free. I'm sorry. No. Screw you, Mawile. No. So he goes back out into Talonflame. And I decide to Will-O-Wisp again. I'm trying to determine exactly how aggressive he'll be or how defensive he'll be. He seems to be a defensive player, which means I'm in a bit of trouble, because I basically do better against offensively based players. And he's playing very defensively. He's doing it really well, too. But anyway, I have Gliscor in on Greninja. I'm not scared, really, because I just have Protect and such. But I decided to double out into Clefable again, and I predicted Keldeo to come in just because he probably expected Mew to come in, and that Keldeo's probably Specs. I think we saw that it was Specs earlier. But anyway, I fire off a Wish here, and this is the situation that I was really hoping I could avoid. But I bring in Gliscor because I know I could take any shot from this Mawile, except for the one move, Ice Punch. And here I totally overpredict. I thought he was going to double out, fearing the Earthquake. And he just Ice Punches me in the face. And I just went, fuck! So I go into Charizard, and this is Gliscor versus Charizard. And god damn it, that does more than half. And I would be comfortable staying in and Flare Blitzing again. But he has Poison Heal because I didn't knock off. And I was so annoyed. So I go out into Meloetta, and he reveals he has Roost, which basically made me groan out loud, because that means that that thing is going to never fucking die. So here I Hyper Voice, and that's a critical hit. So this thing is probably specially defensive, I figure. So I go out into Mew, and as he roosts, because I know exactly what set this is. This is a set that's designed to basically defog, Thunderbolt, Roost, and something filler move of choice. I Will-O-Wisp again, and this Talonflame has eaten so many Will-O-Wisps, and I'm getting really sick of it. But I know for a fact he's probably going to just U-turn out. So I just stay in, really, and taunt on the switch in case he wants to go out into Gliscor. And we're both just sort of stuck trying to figure out what the other wants to do. So I got into Clefable at this point, and I'm trying to figure out a way that I can get in safely without dying. So Mawile comes in, I fire off Wish again, and I'm trying to figure out what to do. So I believe that at this point I go into Mew, and he goes for Play Rough, and that blatantly kills, and I was kind of surprised. I'm pretty physically defensive, but it's a Mega Mawile, so I really can't complain. So I send in Mega Charizard, and I switch out, because I know for a fact he's not going to want to stay in on that, and I know he's going to probably go into Gliscor to take the hit. So he goes into Gliscor as I predict, and I'm just going to hit something with a Hyper Voice. Whew. So that was a Gliscor. That was a nice little play on my part. So I'm going to just fire off a Psyshock because I figure this is going to do quite a bit of damage. And I'll be quite honest, I'm sort of crit fishing here. I blatantly will tell you, I was sort of hoping for a critical at some point here. But, yeah, he's just going to roost up, and I'm getting nowhere. I'm just taking damage and getting nowhere. But, I believe I go out into Charizard here, because I'm a Dragon type now. So I don't have to fear the Thunderbolt. And he decides to go into his Gliscor. And no, this is where I just Dragon Claw just to see how much damage that does. And that does a fair chunk to a Gliscor. And so, it's at this point I go into Meloetta just flat out. I'm not going to put up with it. And that does quite a bit of damage back. I'm thinking about changing Meloetta's EV spread a bit. I have had no complaints with it. I just think it could be a bit tweaked a little bit better. So that way I Shadow Ball I'm searching for a special defense drop on whatever wants to come in. But I switch out into Charizard because I'm expecting that freaking Zapdos to come back in. And I'm right! So he doubles out back into Gliscor. And I just Flare Blitz because I'm just trying to get damage on something. And I'm just getting nowhere against this Gliscor just because I didn't knock off. I want to point out how annoyed I am. But I know that he has Roost, and I figured he'd want to try to Roost because you don't want your Gliscor to be low just in case crits happen and stuff. And I anticipate that he was going to use Toxic here, and I'm going to Scald to take that. And I just fire off a Scald to see how much damage that does. And here I see my saving grace. Scald does a lot more damage that he's going to be recovering off. And I'm sort of trying to figure out exactly how much punishment Tentacle could take. Now, I predict to protect, so I just fire off a Toxic Spike just to get something down. I don't see any reason to haze or anything. So, I fire off Scald, and I get a little bit of a break here with a burn, which is nice. But honestly, I really was just trying to get some damage down. And that burn is absolutely huge, because that means that now Meloetta can do, like, effectively 2-hit KO this thing. So I go out to Clefable, and I believe at this point I decide to double back out. I think. Yes, I double back out into Charizard X, predicting him to go into Mawile. So he's going to go back out into Keldeo here, and I decide to just Flare Blitz it. Honestly, I don't care. I'm not putting up with it. Flare Blitz is going to hit everything hard. I might not have Braver, but I have Flare Blitz, and that's almost as good. I go into Clefable, and I'm just sort of judging how much damage this stuff will do. And I sort of was looking at how much I took, and I figured that was a pretty high roll. So if I protect here, I'll have a chance to survive. And I do. But I get burned. But I do manage to get the Wish off. I really wish I had been able to keep Clefable around, but, you know, burns happened. He gets a burn, I got a burn earlier. It's fine. So I go into Meloetta. I determined that Meloetta is the best bet to have against the remainder of his team. So I just fire off a Shadow Ball to finish it off in case he wants to keep this thing around for switch fodder and switches out. The potential for a special defense drop was very nice. Talonflame comes in and I say, screw you. I'm staying in. I know you're going to U-turn. I can take one. What's going to eat a Hyper Voice? And he chooses Zapdos to eat the Hyper Voice, and because of the burn, it doesn't matter what move I pick. I can now comfortably 2-hit KO this thing. And so I just go for a Psyshock to finish it off. So through some prediction, I managed to somewhat equalize the score, but he still has his Mawile, and that's a big issue. So I go for a Shadow Ball, and I'm blatantly fishing for the special defense drop here. Because if I get that, I might be able to do something. But no, I don't get it. So he manages to KO me with Play Rough, even after the miss. I'm kind of in a really big situation here. And here I just go for Flare Blitz. And what I should have done was go for Roost, anticipating the Sucker Punch. And that would have let me live. But I basically determined that he probably will go for the safe option of just flat out killing me. And he just happened to go for the prediction on my prediction. So I go on to Tentacle, and this battle is basically over. Talonflame might die, but I can't kill Gliscor. So that basically wraps up this battle. Tentacle's going to fall to an Earthquake. He's going to actually use Protect first to ensure that no crit shenanigans go off, which is my only hope, that he wouldn't use Protect and I get a crit. But he played this really well. I had a lot of fun during this game, and this was ridiculously close. And I also wish that I had Ice Beam on Tentacle, but I need Haze. Anyway, guys, that's the battle. Hope you all enjoyed. I know this is the first loss I've uploaded, but it was a lot of fun. It was really, really cool having a really, really close game. Shout out to you, Ribold. I apologize if I mispronounced that. But thanks for the great battle, man. I look forward to a rematch. Anyway, this is the Gamer Ninja, signing off.